was on, internet. Yeah, I went on World Star and saw a report that Kevin Samuels had died in his apartment at the age of 56. And he died of a heart attack. They said he was unresponsive. The woman that was living with him went into his room. They said he was unresponsive. And, you know, first I was like, nah, nah. You know, it's Kevin. He exercised. He always talked about exercising. He always talked about how he was into contact sports. And so someone saying it's true. Uh, okay, well, that's sad. Now, I was following Kevin Samuels for a while, then I stopped listening to his videos. Uh, he made a lot of good points. He straightened up a lot. Listen, a lot of women were going to Kevin Samuels to get advice. Kevin Samuels was shutting down professional people with his arguments. He wasn't just talking out the side of his neck. A lot of women are celebrating on Facebook that he's gone. I'm like, you celebrating a man's death who did nothing wrong. He didn't harm you. He didn't harm anyone in your family. He didn't harm anyone. He simply regurgitated a bunch of facts, is what he did. He used a bunch of facts. And he regurgitated those facts and he put it right in, our face, right in the black community's face. He was like, hey, all these other societies are doing better because they're all getting married, and married is a foundation that will help us as a unit, as black people, get further in life, easier, better. It did back in the 80s and the 70s, and now you women are just, you getting divorced. You didn't listen to him like that, but yeah, he was a frat, okay. But he was saying now you women are just throwing away men. And he was very stern with women. He was like, listen, you women don't have your whole life to get it right. You need to start at an early age trying to get your act together and getting out there and getting yourself a cookbook and and all this other stuff. And I was with him. I was with him. A lot of what he said, I was with it. Some of what he said, I wasn't. But the majority, and 80% of what came out of his mouth, I was with because I couldn't find no fault in it. And he even challenged people. He said, this is a smoke show. Call up here and tell me where I was wrong. And those women would call up there from all over the country, even outside of the country, and nobody could best him in a conversation. Even some of these gurus who do what he does, none of them could get on there and topple this man. None of them. I'm like, why are you hating on someone who spits pure facts to you? He's spitting fact. He's telling you this is where I got it from. This is where I referenced all this information. Go and look it up yourself. That's what he did. He's like, go look it up. And then he said, listen, I didn't make this up. That's what he told everybody. He's like, I didn't make this up. People been having this conversation. He's like, I didn't make this up. So I liked Kevin Samuels. I did. I love the fact that he came out and he was well dressed. He wasn't just sitting up there in some shorts and a tee, spitting all kind of. No, the man was clean. And he would. I love the fact that he backed up what he said. So I'm not gonna cry because the man passed away, from a heart attack. That's something that has plagued, every community. It's one of the number one killers, and it happened for some reason. There's a lot of people get taken out suddenly for heart attacks for one reason or another. People like to say it's diet. People like to say all kind of things. The atmosphere, where you live, and you have a stressful life and all this other stuff. And I'm like, who knows what it was? All we know is he's no longer here. If this is true, this person is saying it's confirmed. And yeah, so big ups to Kevin, man, because this dude became a millionaire. He was driving around $1 million car. His net worth was $6 million. Okay, so for some people who were like, "Oh, this guy's an idiot," this, that, and the third, it's like he made it clear one day. He said, "You can't call somebody, names who can buy you." He just made it very clear, like, I can buy you, So I don't know what you guys are tripping on, but pull up with your play big bank. Takes little bank. But yeah, so sorry to hear that Kevin's gone because I stopped listening to his videos a minute ago, but every now and then I like to catch one or two. But he was spitting a lot of facts, and some of his facts made. I'm tell you what, Kevin Samuels made me look at getting old differently because he said winter's coming. He said winter's coming for all of us. And he was like, how are you going to get your $1.5 million in the bank to retire on? And let's face the facts. Most of us can't retire. We can't. I'm not even working anymore. And I'm in my 50s. So I'm really worried about when I hit 60 and 70. I'm going to be the guard at Walmart. I'm going to be the guy standing there, welcome to Walmart, trying to make that extra cash. I already know this is going to happen because I don't have 1.5 million. I can't retire off of what I got. But nonetheless, unfortunate for me, I got in a car accident and it really slowed me down to where I can't do what a lot of people can do. And every day it just gets harder and harder and harder. Kevin Samuels was right. A lot of women, I don't need no man. And Kevin was like, listen, you do need a man. It's easier for you if you have one. Life gets easier when two people are helping each other out. For one, your finances, and with all this, the way the world is now, with a bunch of people who are out of work and a bunch of people who are roaming the streets, and with the uptick in, violence and robberies and things that are happening to women in broad daylight, you can't tell me that having a man would not help you out. Even if it was somebody like me who, hey, I ain't the quickest dude in the world, but if something happened to you, I can at least go out and, hey, I'm going to give it my best shot. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me having a man somewhere and being able to call that man to come, help you out with whatever it is. I don't care if it's your tire. It could be something that's non-violent. Something's wrong with your car. You may not be that mechanic chick. Don't act like a bunch of women are going out and learning about cars and fixing them themselves. It's not true. It's just not true. Are you independent? I'm independent. Y'all not fixing y'all cars. Yes, there are some of y'all, but come on. The vast majority of women, you're not trying to slide up under a car in the rain or in the snow. No, you want a man to do that. So women, ladies, cut it out. It's just, you'd rather call me and have me come out there with one of my trucks and, fix your tire. It looks a lot better than me doing it than you popping out with your red bottoms on and your, whatever you got on and out there on the side of the road in the middle of a blizzard. No, you want to call me because I'm more prepared for that. I'm more prepared for that. And that's just the truth. And I don't want to do it, but I'm more prepared for that. I'm going to jump out the car first when it goes down. Now, a lot of you warrior princesses, look, have at it. But Kevin Samuels was right. A lot of y'all is hard headed. And hey, I feel like, listen, if you women don't need a man, then I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. Stay to yourself. I think that if a woman wants to be by herself, or if she's fine the way she is, I don't think anybody should beat her down and say, hey, this, that, and the third, yada yada yada. Get a man. No, I'm like, you know what? You go, girl. But being someone who goes into people's houses all the time because I deliver appliances, I've seen what Kevin Samuels is talking about. I've seen it firsthand. Some of those women try to hit on me at the age of 60. Some of them try to get on me. I done had a couple of them try to hit on me, ask me directly. I had one woman that's like, come on back to my house, I'll cook you dinner. I had one woman she said, my husband died and I don't, and black woman, good looking black woman. She said, my husband died and I don't have anybody. Because I delivered her a dishwasher. And I told her, I don't put dishwashers in. I just, I sell them. She's like, well, now I got to call somebody else to put it in. She said, because my husband died and I don't have anybody. And I felt for her, but, this is what Kevin was talking about. This is exactly what he was talking about. Once you get out of those years, you get past 30, 40 women, when he's talking about your value, he was talking about your value according to the way men look at you. He's talking about your marriage value, not your value as a person. He's talking about the ability to catch a mate. And he was correct. Your ability to snag a mate is lesser the older you get because of various reasons. And some people are on Facebook now quoting him and mad at him because he was talking about if you're over 30, then, you're, I don't know, no good or what. I don't even think he said that. But everything he was talking about when it comes to value was the value of marriage. Is a man going to choose you over the next woman coming out of college? That's what he's talking about. Does the woman coming out of college have a better chance of getting married than you do? Will that man choose that woman with that Maserati body or this woman who has 2 kids at 40 years old? Is this 40-year-old going to choose that woman with 2 kids by somebody else in this 40? Or is he going to look at that 25-year-old and go, I could put some work into that and I can still have babies with that. It should be good. You know what I'm saying? Is he going to choose you over the newer model? And the answer is most likely no. We know the newer model comes with problems too. It isn't like these girls are perfectly fit. No, they're little nuts. Okay? We know that every young guy is trying to, get on them too. And they most likely might not choose somebody in their 40s or something like that. We are well aware of that. But nonetheless, the guy's preference is what we're talking about. And that's what he was telling all these women, like, don't waste your good years where you can come out and procreate. And he was talking about, listen, ladies, you can get your prime years where you can have children without having complication. You have prime years, all the way up to like 30, I think, 30 to 35. And then when you start having children at 30, 35 and older, your children come out looking different. You have more complications having children. You have less children. Kevin Samuels didn't make that up. This is a fact. No doctor No doctor called Kevin Samuels out on that. Went on his show and said, what you're saying is actually wrong. Actually, they were saying he's exactly right. Not one of these black female doctors, and there's plenty of them, not one OBGYN got on Kevin Samuels' show and said, Kevin Samuels, you are wrong. Women who have babies at 35 to 45 have just as good a chance of having a baby as a woman from 25 to 35. It's there's no different. We know that that's not true. We know that's not true. What he said was exactly correct. You're 21, you should be looking for a man. If you're dating someone, 2, 3 years, you dated them too long. 6 months, that man knows if he's going to marry you or not. If you guys are still fooling around and stuff after that, he's not going to marry you. Kevin was not wrong about that. As a man, I know when I want to be with somebody for a long extended time. I know when I'm like, you know what? I can spend the rest of my life with you. I know this. As a man, I know this because I have a set of attributes already in my head and in my heart. And if a woman fulfills those attributes and she's acting right, then yes, I'm like, pin it down. It doesn't take 2 or 3 years for you to decide. If it takes 2 or 3 years for you to decide, then something's wrong with that woman in that man's eyes. He's waiting for her to stop smoking cigarettes. He's waiting for her to stop, cursing out everybody. He's trying to calm her down. He's trying to make her fit into a mold. She isn't already fitting into the mold. She isn't already his wife. And that's what he was talking about. If a man finds a wife, not if a man finds a woman and then she becomes a wife. No, she's already a wife. She's a wife, and then she gets found. The reason why she gets found and married is because she's a wife. She does wife things. A lot of women are like, I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not none of this until a man marries me. It's like, you are not a wife. You're not a wife. You're not practicing being a wife. You don't have wife etiquettes. You're not looking at the financial benefit of being a wife. You're not looking at the stability of being a wife. You're looking at, just you out there on your own. Some of you are proud to be baby mothers. What nationality is celebrating Baby Mama Day? But us, we celebrate being a baby mama. Nobody else in the whole entire world is running around wearing the badge of baby mama honor except for black women. And Kevin Samuels was correct. That is the most stupidest thing in the damn world because your kids are going to suffer from that. They're going to be out there without fathers. And the value of the father is taking a back seat. It's like, oh, these men ain't no good, and blah, 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 blah. And so you cut the man out the child's life because you're mad at the guy? Man, that dude was on point. He was on point. He was telling the truth. And he was talking about the stuff that he was saying he didn't make it up. Kevin Samuels didn't make that stuff up. Kevin Samuels regurgitated a litany of facts to us that he went back in history and found that people were talking about and bring it and put it right in women's face, told them to be quiet and listen, and told them that nobody's holding them accountable. They want to go into a fine restaurant and shake their ass and twerk in front of everybody, and then get mad when the black restaurant owner comes out and was like, "Don't twerk in my restaurant." He spent millions of dollars to get that restaurant up and going. And you black women wanted to cancel him because he didn't want you shaking your funky ass in his establishment. I would have kicked you out on your nasty ass in a heart. I would have, the minute you gave me feedback or something I didn't like, I would have been like, you don't like it? There's the door. Get out. No. Cancel the orders. Get out and do not come back. And would not care if none of you came back at all. I would not care. Get out and do not. I would have banned them. I would have banned them if they gave. I would have banned them. Period. As soon as they got up and tried that twerking nonsense, I would have canceled the order and told them get out and do not return. If you return, I'm going to call the police on you. I'm not doing it. It's a damn shame that you can cancel someone just because they want you to have some etiquette and decorum in their establishment. They want the people to come there and feel comfortable. They don't want people to come there and have to smell your funky behind and look at you. Not everybody is accepting of the whorish ways that are so prominent in the community today. And it's just not black women, of course, twerking and acting a damn fool. But nonetheless, listen, there's just some places you don't go and act that way. And this is what this man was saying. Don't do this in my establishment. Those women tried to cancel him. It's just, you women, you love Lizzo. Look, Lizzo, do your thing. You know, you're a big girl, fine, do your thing. Do your thing. But let's not act like obesity is something that we should normalize. Look, I'm overweight. I'm overweight, because of my car accident. I'm overweight. I still try to go to the gym and exercise. I don't go, you know what, I'm fat and I'm proud of it. No. But I can still bench press 320 pounds. If you don't believe me, just look at my page. You'll see me doing it. I don't play around with it because I know that health is a big thing. I can't run like I used to. My knees, my back, I'm not going to be able to do it. Nonetheless, I still get in the gym, do what I can do. I still get down and try to knock out some push-ups. It hurts to get down there and do that. I still try to exercise. I got a gut. I'm not supposed to have a gut. I'm supposed to be 200 and maybe 20 pounds. I'm 280 pounds. I'm not proud of it. I don't look at fat people and go, oh, you should wear that as a badge of honor. No, I think to myself, you need to get your life together. You need to get your health together. Don't sit up there and act like it's okay, to be like this because, listen, 20, 30 years ago, it was less and less fat people. You know what I'm saying? Because we were out there moving around doing more things. Now we're trying to normalize. Everything bad is good, everything good is bad. Russell Wilson is a square, and a square is being bad. The baby daddy run around making 30 babies is the guy we admire. Future is the guy that we put on a pedestal, but Russell Wilson is the guy that we throw up under the bus? Please explain that to me. please, they're both millionaires, but Future spent $3 million in 1 year on women. $3 million just on dishing it out to women, running up in them. You know who he told that to? He told that to Kevin Samuels. $3 million. No, Russell Wilson is a whole G. He's taking care of, a baby that's not his. He's got a nice family. He is a whole G. The dude is a millionaire. How are you a square and you in the top 5 in the NFL? You have a Super Bowl. You went to the Super Bowl 2 years consecutively and almost won it if it wasn't for your coach. You won one the first year, went to the second one, threw a bad pass, boom, because your coach told you to, and you missed the second ring. I'm sorry, but please explain to me how that is being a square and that's being a bad, like this guy, do you know how much money he makes? You know what Russell Wilson's contract is? What's the real kick in the ass is Russell Wilson during his first couple of years wasn't even making that much money. He didn't have the big contract until those 2 years were over with. Then they had to pay him the big money. A square, man, call me a square all day, every day. If I can be one of the top five in the NFL, good looking, have a nice looking wife and kids and family, finances secure, and have the admiration worldwide. People admire this dude. People love this dude. If that's being bad, I want to be bad. That's what I want to be. That's what I want to be. But Future, how many baby mamas do he's got? He's not marrying none of them. He's got random children everywhere. He's messing around with another man's wife and then made a song about it. I just hit your wife in Gucci flip flop because he was knocking out Scottie Pippen's wife while he had on Gucci flip flop. Made a song about it. I hope Scottie Pippen sues the hell out of Future. Nah, Kevin Samuels was a G, and look, I still hope it's not true. But if it is true, it is true. I mean, that's life. It is what it is. But I'm listen. Until the day I'm gone, I'm gonna always reference some of the stuff he said. And like I said, he lit a fire up under my ass. When he was talking about the reason why you ain't got, nobody, because he was dogging men too. And he wasn't dogging men. He was telling them the truth. You guys out there, you're not making a lot of money, and you're wondering why that you don't have a woman. Because your finances ain't right. And I had to look at myself and go, there was a lot of women in my life, but they didn't want to be with me because I could not afford a family. And I had to eat that because it hurts. But it's the truth. I ain't had no money. And they would be out. They're like, look, you good for, hitting the sack, but you don't have no money. I can't nest here. That's what women do. They nest. They find a place to have that baby. They nest. That's what they need. And if you don't have a secure home, if you don't have your finances coming in right, then it's not going to happen. So I can't cry about that. I have never been a provider. I'm just not. And I can blame it on whatever. Listen, I'm not a provider. I don't make $100,000 a year. Even the average, 45, 50,000. I don't make that. I'm not a provider. So I don't roll up on a woman and beat my chest about whatever. No, I can take you on a few dates. I'm cool. But Kevin was right. If you're not a provider, a woman is not going to want to nest with you. She's not going to want to build with you like that. And a lot of women are like, I don't want to build a boo. I don't want a guy that I got to teach this and do all that with. A lot of women are not with that anymore, especially when you get in, older women, 35 and whatnot. They don't want to do. They want to boo already. Boom, and then Kevin Samuels hit them with the truth. The average man makes $45,000 a year. That's what the majority of black men make. That's the truth. You women want $100,000 dude? Good luck. There's just not a lot of them out there. There's just not. And then some women are going, well, it's only $278 a day. Well, yeah. It's $278 a day gets you listen, and that's Saturday and Sunday gets you 100,000. Who's paying that? Who's paying that? Good luck finding that. You got to be an entrepreneur who's on their game in order to make that. You got to be good at the lottery or stocks or something in order to make that. You got to understand not everybody is out there taking that financial risk. People want to work for Amazon. Nothing wrong with it. They want to work for, Honda and all these places. Good jobs, good benefits. Nothing is wrong with that. But they make, hey, 45, 50, 60 a year. Nothing's wrong with that. You average ass women are dogging the guy who works for freaking UPS. You dogging this guy because he's a square, works his 40, 50, 60 hours, bringing home his 65 grand a year, and you dogging this guy. Kiss my grits. And you doing what? You're not even making that much. You mean to tell me that if you women are making 60 grand and a man pops up in your life and he's like, I make 60 grand. And you go, nah, that's not good enough for me. You make 60 grand. He's matching you. And that's not good enough for you? What? You make, how much do you make? Well, you don't need to know. No, the truth is you make 60 grand, he makes 60 grand. And you mean to tell me your combined income, 120 grand, is not going to do anything? You mean to tell me you can't do nothing with that? You people are out of, you women are, the level of delusion that women have now is unreal. You have even female dating coaches saying, I can't do it. Rebecca Lynn Pope, I can't do it. She's like, I can't. You women are just... Go listen to Rebecca Lynn Pope and listen to her talk. She's like, I can't understand what's wrong with you women. You women, the divorce rate, it's always the woman that's leaving the man. In the black community, the black community is the women who leave the men. And like, what? And this one woman's like, the guy who I was with he loved me. He went to work every day. He loved me unconditionally. He was beautiful. He went to work every day. She said the problem was he wasn't progressing financially. She divorced him because he'd go to work every day and she said he wasn't making more money. But he loved me. Let me get this straight. He loved you. He protected you. He did anything for you. He went to work every day. He married you. This wasn't her boyfriend. They were married. He married you, meaning you already knew what he did for the... See, that's the problem. You women want to marry a guy, then you want him to become some superhero. No. $42,000 is the average a man makes. This is what he makes. He's not going to make any more unless the company gives him a raise. $42,000. Bang, there it is. What do you want to do? You want this $42,000 or are you going to go fish? One or the other. That's what this woman did. She tossed that man away. And then the dude died. And she got married to somebody else. But she left him because he went to work every day, came home to her. He didn't cheat on her. He came home to her every day. Faithfully. Boom, here's the money. But he wasn't making enough. She wanted to go live a lavish lifestyle. Unbelievable. I can't with you women. I can't. I don't make enough money. I'm not gonna listen. You're not gonna. I'm just not. Everything he was saying was true. And he opened up our eyes and he let the women call in. And that was the most beautiful part about what Kevin Samuels was doing. He let the women call in and the women made the show. The women are the ones who called in saying they were looking for a man. And then when he started digging through the psyche of these women, he was finding out that a lot of them threw away good, everyday, average men. They threw them away. Like this one chick, good-looking, dark-skinned female. She's got a son. She had a man. And he's like, what happened to the last man? She said, I left my boyfriend because he was boring. And this is what makes me not even want to do it. Because I'm boring. I'm in my 50s. I'm boring like I'm on, you know what I'm saying? She said, I left him because he was boring. He went to work. He came home to her. He wanted to chill with his beautiful woman and chill, his son. That's what he wanted to do. She couldn't stand it. She left him and then she went out to the club. And them boys start running through that ass like was not. She's like, everybody I ran into was a narcissist. She wanted to go out and party. She went out party and learned that it's the same old trash. Those guys aren't going to change for you because now you're there. You want them to be the husband. They're not there to be your husband. They're there to use you and keep going. You're not special because you're the you who you are. You don't have special ass or something. They don't care. You're one in a million girls who come out here to the club, get ran up in, ran through, and then dismissed. That's what you are. You're an exercise. You're practice. That's all you are. You're not special. They don't think you're special. Your name isn't special. You're not. There's nothing special about you. You're the same piece of ass that runs in the club as the next one is going to come in here as soon as you leave. It's always going to be some goofy girl running in there thinking she's going to change something in that club. She's going to find something different. No, it's the same guy over and over and over again. And you women just don't get it. The boring guy is what you want. You want to come home to that guy who's going to listen to you. You girls want to go out there and get the guy who will not listen to you and cry over him. Guy tells you he loves you, you want to throw him away like yesterday's newspaper. Oh, baby, I love you. What? Open the door for you? What are you doing? Don't you ever open my door. I can open. I'll throw him. I'm going to cheat on him. He's just too good. You go out there, get your ass kicked. He comes out there to try to help you. No, let me get my ass whooped. This is what I want. You stupid. Leave them. Leave any of you guys who are. Leave that woman. Do not invite her in your house. Do not invite her in your life. Do not invite her out to dinner. Do not, as soon as a woman shows signs of that type of ridiculousness and idiocy, I don't care how fat her ass is, you leave her standing right where she's at. You thank her very much because you didn't waste your money or your time, and you leave that woman. And you let her know, listen, this is not going to work. Thank you very much. And you peel. And when she calls you, you do not answer the phone. You block her. Because she is never going to be a good woman. If you're looking for a good woman and you start looking and finding those traits, you don't bother with that in your life. Don't do it. I don't get you women. Kevin Samuels is right. I hope the man's not dead. But if he is, he is. But his legacy and what he was saying has picked up such speed. They call him the Godfather for a reason because all of these podcasts, Fresh and Fit, all these other guys, out there talking, the Manosphere, O'Shea Duke Jackson, all of these guys were inspired by Kevin Samuels. Those guys, they're bolder in their speech now because Kevin Samuels was bringing up the facts. Even Tommy Sotomayor, who pretty much have fallen off. Tommy Sotomayor was before Kevin Samuels. But Tommy Sotomayor messed up because he was going to make a movie called The Fatherless Nation. And we were all for it. So he started taking donations. And when he started taking donations, he got all these donations and blah blah blah, talking about the black woman and another person who was doing it for a minute. Is called the Reluctant Nabi. He's been doing it for a long time. He's still doing it. But anyways, so Tommy Sotomayor had our vote. We were with Tommy Sotomayor until Tommy Sotomayor took that money and did nothing with it. And then got on YouTube, one of his channels, talking about he's a scammer. Tommy Sotomayor could have easily made that movie, The Fatherless Nation, and he could have took off with that, and we would have been right behind him 100%, because there is a epidemic in the black community when it comes to father. Listen, 72% of black women are living alone. 72%. You got to understand, 13% of of America is the black woman. You got to understand that. You got to understand there are 2 million more black women in America than there is more than black men. There's not enough of black men to cover you black women. There's just not enough. So you got to understand these numbers are very, 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 very real. So when you're throwing away these good men as if there's just another one right around the corner because what's between your legs is special. No, listen, what's between your legs is only valuable to the person who's willing to pay for it. That's it. That's it. Your cooch doesn't make you magically delicious. It just doesn't. It doesn't. If a man looks at you and goes, it's just not worth it, then your value is goose egg to him. And there are a lot of good looking women who are on the internet talking about their phone is dry, talking about nobody's talking to them, men are ignoring them. You find, listen, even in other countries where there are a lot of black women have the same complaint now. They're going out and there'll be a group of you black women and you'll see some black men and they will not come over and talk to you. They won't do it because your value to them is zero. Some of you want to run off and get Chad or Brad. Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. But when something happens to you, they're not arresting Chad or Brad if you haven't noticed that. They're letting them go and saying, hey, they're nice guys. We're just going to let them go. This has happened already twice. Okay, so you go get your Chad or Brad, but when he gets upset with you and does you in, the police are not going to put him in jail. They're just not. I mean, your value, listen, I don't care how fine you are, and some of you are fine, but your value is predicated upon what that man wants. And you could walk over to the average guy as just average as he wants to be and be like, boom, what's up, me and you? And if he looks at you and goes, it's not going to happen. Your value to that man, zero. You're not as valuable as you think you are. When you find a man that values you like Russell Wilson values Sierra, you hang on with both arms, legs, teeth, and everything else you got. You hang on to that good man. I don't care if he bores the hell out of you. Find a hobby. Read a book. Join a book club. Do something. Take up underwater basket weaving. Crochet. Build a website. Build an automobile. Do something with that time and let that man be in the house loving you while you're making up, I don't know, something that you can sell in Bath and Body Works. Be creative, but don't go to that man and dog him out because the guy's sitting here enjoying his Sunday with you watching whatever he's watching, something. Hell, he's probably even gonna watch Lifetime TV with you. Like, let him. How do you what? You want me to turn off the game to watch Lifetime? Okay, it's not like it's not the playoffs, but okay, we'll watch Lifetime for Living just because you want to watch something with feelings in it. And there's 4 TVs in the house, but you got to come to my TV and watch Lifetime. Okay, we'll watch Lifetime for Living. I'll just I'll just rewind the game. I don't need to see who's. I can just look at the highlights. Sure, sit down. Well, like, if that guy is throwing it all away just for your irritating ass, don't throw that guy away. Hey, you tell that man, thank you for putting up with me. You thank that man for putting up with me, because I'm gonna tell you something. Like I said, there's 2 million more women, black women, in America than there is black men. So, what are the chances that your good man is being watched by somebody you know? What are the chances? What are the chances that your sister, your cousin, your best friend, who are all single, your best friend, your mother is looking at it like, I'm single too. Throw them away if you want to. What are the chances that somebody you know, who you're close to, your coworkers, all these single women out there, all you women would love to have a man in the house. All these women who are going, your man is in the house, like right now? Yeah, he's in the house watching some show that he doesn't want to watch, but I wanted to watch. Yeah, he's right here. We're watching 2 women cry over something stupid that he can't understand. And he's just watching, he's just looking right at it. He's not even on his phone. He's just sitting there, and I know he doesn't want to watch it, but I want to irritate the hell out of him. So I'm gonna put the show on to see if he, you know, yeah. I'm just gonna irritate him until he. Then I'm gonna film it and put it on TikTok, and until he's had enough, and then he's finally like, you know what, I'm leaving. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna irritate the hell out of a good man. Yeah, he's sitting right here. I'm just saying, somebody you know is watching your man. And when they, give him the poo nanny and, start going over, Deborah's house, well, not Deborah, Shanae, when your man, when Roderick starts heading over to Shanae's house, he's in her neck of the woods, you like, what you doing over there? Oh, shoot, my homeboy lived. Lying through his teeth. Because he can go over there and get some peace. He can go over there and watch the game, eat some fried chicken and waffles, have himself whatever he likes to drink, and Shanae got it set up for him. Because he comes to you, you want him to watch Lifetime TV and be in his ear and make TikToks and make fun of him. He goes to Shanae's house, she's like, what game do you want to watch? He's like, Steelers, Cowboys, it's the playoffs. She's like, bet. Boom, there it is. Knock yourself out. Here's your food. Boom. If you need something, let me know. I'm gonna go into my room, and I'm gonna go ahead and watch, O channel, the O channel, Oprah Winfrey channel. Snapped is on. I gotta see what's going on. I gotta watch that. I'm gonna watch the Housewives of, Honolulu or something stupid like that. What are the chances that he's gonna go back over to Shanae's house? I know I would. I'll be right over there. I'll be right over there. Next thing you know, you see less and less stuff of his in your house, and you try to figure out where he's at. He's at Shanae's house. Next thing you know, there's nothing in the house that belongs to him. Nothing. And don't go over there and yell and scream at him, want to bust his windows and curse Shanae out, because they're both gonna come outside and tell you what the deal is. You didn't treat him right. Now go away or we're going to call the police. And you're going to yell and scream because now you're paying your bills on your own. And I know all you women got money, but isn't it nice when somebody helps you pay for something? Isn't it nice when you don't have all the burden on yourself? Isn't it nice when you don't have to hire somebody to cut your grass? Isn't it nice when you don't have an automatic starter, your man gets up and starts your car. You know, my neighbor lives across the street. Her dude used to live with her. He left, right? No, she told me, she said, I miss him because I go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm scared sometimes when I walk out here because it's dark. He would get up early in the morning and come out and make sure that there was nothing going on outside. You women are doing that for other women? Y'all doing that right there? He would come outside at 5 in the morning. He didn't have to. And he would get up, come outside, and look around and make sure his woman was good. And she would get in the car and peel and go to work. Oh, y'all doing that for each other? That's what y'all doing? Nah, y'all ain't doing that. Y'all sitting around talking about stupid stuff and we don't need no man, yada, yada, yada. Nonetheless, y'all getting attacked when y'all come outside. Listen, she said he would chase away even the little raccoons and little animals because she was scared of them. He'd be like, we got groundhogs. He'd be, just that little bit. She said, I miss that. Yeah. Okay. Kevin Samuels was wrong? No, Kevin Samuels was right. Y'all don't need our protection? Okay. Y'all jumping out of spider. Y'all jump a damn spider. Come on. I hope he's not dead, man. I hope he's not dead. Because we need that. We need that energy. We need people to tell women about their flaws. We need women, the next generation of women, these chicks coming out of high school, we need them to realize that listen, you should be looking for a man to marry and not one to screw. You should be looking for a man to marry. Like now. See, back in the day, there's people who did that for you. But nobody's doing that for you now. You used to get vetted by your father, and your father would go out and he would go, marry my daughter. Your father would find a suitor for you, and then you would date. And boom, there would be marriage. And the two families would join, and you'd become more powerful. None of that doesn't happen now because you women have taken that whole thing and thrown it out. Why? Because you got rid of the father in the house. You threw the father away for benefits for the government. From the government. That's what you did. You threw that man away, then you said, all man ain't nothing. And when you tossed that man away, your two daughters are now growing up without that father's tutelage. And you mean to tell me that you women have instilled the value of a man in your daughters? You women can do that. Y'all can instill the precepts and concepts that have been handed down by God through the line of a man in your daughters. You women can do that. You women can't do that. Your daughters are not stepping out the house with knowledge of men and our machinations and getting that from a woman. You're getting the hatred that your mother has for men. You're not coming out with love in your heart for a man. You're not coming out looking for someone who was like your daddy, a pillar in your house who didn't take no nonsense, who didn't let any family members talk to you strange, touch you, anybody on your block. Everybody respected you when you stepped out the house. That's Durrell's little girl right there. And if they saw you fighting, they came out the house to protect you. Y'all don't do. Women ain't do. Get that. Y'all not doing that. Everybody knew who you were on the block, and when some little boy liked you and would come over and play, he came to your house and met your father. How you doing, Mr. Johnson? How you doing, little James? And he respected your father because he knew if he put his hands on you, if he said something to you wrong, James going to come out the house and it's going to be an ordeal. And you're going to have to get your daddy and it's going to get straightened out. And James ain't want no part of that. He came over your house respectfully, ate dinner with you, the wife, and the other siblings. Y'all fed little James because he was a cool-ass little dude. And that was her little, but it was all constructive. And, y'all played in the living room or y'all played outside. Everything was everything. And when it's time for James to go home, he said goodbye to you, said goodbye to the family, and he went on down the block and everybody made sure he got to where he was going. James got home safely, and everybody knew that was James's girl. And when James and little Melissa grew up, they grew up as a couple, whether they stayed together or not. They still was a cute couple, and sometimes that grows into a thing, and they get married. That doesn't happen today because the mother has taken that completely out of the household because the father is not there. So that line is broken. That genetic tutelage, that genetic blessing is not being handed down to where this little girl can look at somebody who is not in her family and go, this is a strong father figure. I know he'll raise my children like my father raised me. Y'all little girls aren't doing that. Your little girls are walking out the house and they don't know what a strong father figure is. And because they do not know what one is, they gravitate towards the first one that shows them love. And when they do that, they often end up in the wrong person's hands. And that's where you have your little girls now doing porn, your little girl doing threesomes, your little girl at 16, 17, she's out there getting banged out and the whole block knows about it and the whole block is running up in that ass. All these men now have turned from respecting that little girl to trying to get in her ass. And they're doing it successfully. She's running around bouncing from house to house to house to house. And tell me it ain't true. I know it's true because I know a little girl who was doing that around here. I know a couple of them like that. And I know this is what they do. Go from house to house to house. Then the same day going from 1, 2, 3, 4 houses and 5 or 6 boys just doing whatever they want to them at once. I know this happens because I've seen it. This is what you little girls are on right now. And that's because there's no father in the house. And they won't listen to a man. They go to school and yell at their teachers. They have no respect for any man. You're not my father. Yeah, you're right. I'm not your father. By the way, where is your father? One little girl called me ugly and I said, your daddy's in jail. She had no retort because she knew I was right. You're a little badass 14-year-old girl talking crazy to me, but where's your father at? He's in jail. That's where your dad is. Go visit him before you want to talk crazy to me. I just hit her with the facts and the truth. Your dad's in jail, you little hellion. And you're going to end up right there or on the side of the road if you don't watch your mouth. Because not every man is looking at your little 14-year-old ass and going, oh, she's just a 14-year-old. No, they will slap the taste buds out of you. Men have no respect for these little loudmouth little girls no more. They will punch you square in your face because you took the male out of the house. So they know there's nobody protecting these little girls. Even when you grow up, with your mouth, in your 20s, all this attitude, you notice a lot of women are getting beat up by men because men have no respect for the woman now. You just look on the internet. Men are punching women square in the face. Square in the face. hard. They're beating women flat out like a whole man. You understand what kind of hate you have to have for a man that you don't know to beat you in your face and just he did something happen to him that broke him down, and you're catching the tail end of it. And this is what's happening all over America, even outside of America. But look all over America, in every major city, women are getting beat up by men. The feminist movement wasn't for you. You women should have backed out of that. You women got all that mouth. You should have shut up about that. It wasn't for you. That was for white women. We have our own movements. We have our own way of treating black women and treating black men in our community. But the feminist, the Me Too movement, that wasn't for you. The court system doesn't look at you like they look at a white woman. You don't have the same privilege a white woman does. You're not white woman special. You're not even Asian woman special. The Asians have more privilege than the black woman does. The Hispanics who grow up in the same neighborhoods we are, the poor or rich, the same neighborhoods, they have more power than you do. Black woman it doesn't have the same power Hispanic woman does. Not even close. And we're not even going to talk about the Indian woman from India. Mm-mm. You're at the bottom of the barrel and you want to run around. The only reason why the government tolerates you is to take us out. Because the females are the gateway to the community. Whatever the female allows, that's what goes in the community. So they come into the community, they take out all the strong men, then they advocate for, homosexuality. They say women on women is natural. Men on men is natural. Your little boy is now a girl. Your little girl is now a boy. Your little girl can run around here and twerk in front of everybody, in front of grown men. Your little girl should have lust in her heart and allow grown men to do whatever they want. The same with your little boy. That's what happened when they took us out. They came to you, black women. The government came to you, black women. They came to you and asked you to make a choice. And your choice was kick the black man out the house. And when you did that, you shut down the community. You took away the protection of the community. That's what you did. You took the warriors out of the community. You traded us in. Look at the Black Panther Party and figure out how it got split up. You traded us in. You said you didn't need us. You didn't need our protection. You don't need our love. Well, you may not need it, but your little girls and your little boys do. Look at the little boys now. Look at them little boys in Chicago. Look at them. They all carrying straps. All of them. 11, 12, 10. They all strapped up. These little boys are killers at 10 years old. No, black woman, you don't need us. Your children need us. They need us, but they won't listen to us now. They're wilding. I can't run up to some of these kids in the hood and tell them what to do. You know what they'll tell me? Shut up, old man. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be quiet. Because I am old. I'm not going to chase these kids. They're not mine. I don't want to deal with these hellions. They're not mine. They're not my responsibility. And that statement alone should scare you black women. When somebody who lives in your community sees your children and says, this is not my community, that should scare you. But you women walk around talking about single men, whispering in them, hiding your kids from them, trying to make them seem like they're attacking, like they're trying to do something to you. They're paying you no mind, and it pisses you off that these men pay you no mind. You're not even there. They don't give you any advice on your cars anymore. They don't tell you about your house or anything that the men can step up and used to do. They don't do that because you cursed them out, you laid them out, you called the cops on them, you arrested them, you put them in jail, you cost them money, you cost them time, and now we're old. Now we're tired, and we know not to speak to you. So now here comes your little boy, run around no shirt off, acting bad, fighting girls. It's only going to be a matter of time before the police roll right through here and pin his ass down. And I done seen that happen to one little boy already. Right out here. Police came right out, saw the little boy, drew on him. Get down on the ground. The boy had to get on the ground. I can't say nothing. I can't step in and say, what's this all about? Because the black woman cursed me out. Another little boy walking down the street, police pulled up, told the little boy to get in the car, get in the back of the cruiser. And I saw it. And I wish I could have been like, why does he have to get in the back of your cruiser? But I can't say nothing because the mother will bite my head off. These little girls playing around here, getting into it and cursing and screaming and acting a fool. I can't tell that little girl to stop talking like that. That mother will come out the house with a frying pan or a 9mm. Why are you talking to my daughter? Your daughter is scared. Look, this little 8-year-old down the street gave me the finger while I was driving by. I pulled over. I was like, where your parents at? I was like, where do you live? She's like, I live way down there. She was lying to me the whole time. I went to the store, came back, saw the same little girl right there with her father on the porch. And I pulled right in. The little girl was like, oh, hell. And I was like, this your little girl? He was like, yeah, why? I was like, because she was standing out in the corner giving me the finger. He said, why'd you do that? And then she came up with some little yappity yap. And I said, that's a problem. I got back in my car and rode off like a little girl, 8 years old. She said, I did it because there's another little girl, a little Hispanic little girl, told her to do it. So these two little girls out there giving grown men the finger, telling them F you. They know what the finger means. I'm done with y'all. I'm done with y'all. Y'all do what y'all want to do. I'm not afraid to grow old and die alone. I was built for this. This is what men do. But you women, I had enough of y'all. I hope Kevin Samuels ain't dead. He's a good man. He was doing his thing. I'm out.